Signal here on the scalper, so I could place my order right above there. I can use my super trend to cover my trade. That is potentially good for 5 contracts. I'm going to look at entering there. I'm going to set my stop actually a little bit deeper in case we see a retracement back here to the macro. In case I get into this a little bit too early, you see that's another thing that you can do, is you can look at a previous swing point, or you can look at your macro trend line and use that as your stop placement. Remember, with Risk Manager, your risk amount remains the same. What changes are the number of contracts you take. So you see here we're going to be long 4 contracts instead of the 5. But to my way of thinking, I'm better off giving up a contract in the trade, giving the market enough elbow room that I can actually ride out premature signal than structuring the trade too tightly, picking up another contract or 2 only to get stopped out in the chop. That's what you need to consider when you're setting up your trade parameters. Hawk, back to the Hawk, you can see our order did not fill, so I'm going to scrub the trade, and we have the ability now that we can draw a little bit of a bull type flag. We flipped on the super trend, which I'm not that concerned about just yet. I'm going to set, you know what, I'm probably going to set my order still to go above this little swing high that we had. So I could have left my order the way it was. I'm just going to incorporate the macro. You see, if this hash mark prints, it's going to print just on the other side of this little bull flag that I've drawn. And it should pick it up here, because we are anticipating the buyers to come back into this market from here. But like I said to you the other day, for the sake of a couple of ticks, I'll sacrifice a couple ticks on the entry, try to capture a little bit more of that momentum. I'm going to roll my stop at least break even, as is my habit to do. Some people just like to let the super trend pick it up. Super trend is right back here, but I'm a little bit more aggressive on my stop. And you should trade, if you're trading in sim mode, you should trade your sim mode the exact same way that you're going to trade your real money.
Trend.
Because it's no good for you to run a very loose stop in sim mode if you're not prepared to do the same thing when you're trading real money. And all I'm doing here is I'm just rolling it up brick by brick as it prints. And you'll notice that I've changed my counter to just percentages. Sometimes I'll change it to ticks, and all that does is it keeps me from freaking out about the dollar amounts that are in play. Helps me remain a little bit more calm. Okay, so that's getting pretty close to our stop. Let's take a look at what all right, we're out for a nice little trade.